Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a Q&A. I asked you guys on Instagram to ask me some of your concealed carry questions so that we can have a little chat. I did one Q&A in the past, and I like these videos because I can figure out what you guys are curious about, which gives me ideas for more videos, and it also kind of helps you guys get to know me on a more personal level. Even though the questions are mostly about concealed carry, you still get to hear my opinion on things and why I like things I like and why I do things I do. It's a gorgeous day out. We're just gonna sit here and have a little chat. I've got some things to show you based on the questions I received, and let's get to it. I'm gonna be reading the questions off my phone, so. Alright, first question comes from J Landero 707, and he asks, how do you explain to people why you carry? That's a really good question. Everyone's gonna have a different reason as to why they carry. Maybe you were the victim of a crime, or you live in what you would call an unsafe neighborhood. Maybe you value your Second Amendment rights and that's why you carry. For me, I guess the biggest reason why I carry is because I want to be responsible for my own safety. I know that if something were to happen to me, the police are minutes away and I'm gonna be the first person who's there. I'm the first responder. So I want to at least give myself the chance of being able to defend myself if I need to. I don't want someone else to have the option of making me a victim. I want to be able to defend myself, and that doesn't mean that I will win, but it means that I'll at least be giving myself a chance by arming myself with some tools that I can use if something does go wrong. Especially if I'm with other people that I care about, the thought of being totally defenseless and watching something bad happen to somebody that I love is kind of not okay with me. I carry to protect myself, I carry to protect the people that I love, and I carry because I have the right to do so. Also, on a more personal level, I'm 5'2", 110 pounds, and if someone were to try to victimize me, physically it would be difficult for me to defend myself because I'm small. So having tools on my body like a gun or pepper spray will give me a better chance of surviving versus just having these. But that is a great question. I want to know. Leave your comments below. Why do you carry? Because everyone's gonna have a different answer. That's just mine. Alright, Kels Khaleesi asks, are there any online communities for women who carry? I can't find any. Yes, there are. Definitely check out The Well-Armed Woman. They have chapters in I think almost every state, maybe 48 out of 50, but they have chapters all over the US. You can find women to shoot with, or even just their online groups if you have questions and stuff like that. In my state of Massachusetts, we have the Mass Women Gun Owners, and it's a group that was started a few years ago by one of my friends, Pamela Hart. That's actually how we met, and how I met a lot of really great women in Massachusetts. It started as an online Facebook group where we can meet other women who carry or own firearms in Massachusetts. So you can find people to shoot with, you can ask questions in like a really comfortable and safe online space. Look in your state. There's also Second Amendment Sisters. I know that they have chapters in a lot of states. Try those out. See if there's anything that's specific to your state. They're definitely out there. So if you need more help finding a group for your state, just send me a message and I'll do my best to help you out. I'll ask around. Thank you for the question. Blue Macaw 34 has a good one that I've heard before. How do you handle friends and family who are not comfortable with you carrying around them? I would say number one, teach them, and number two, just honor their home. A lot of people are afraid of guns because they don't know about them. They don't know how they work. They don't know about gun safety, and that lack of education is what makes people afraid. So I guess the first thing you should do is ask them why they're uncomfortable, have like a real conversation with them, and find out what they're afraid of, and then maybe try to take them to the range, teach them about firearm safety, because the more people that we can teach and educate, the less fear there will be around guns. Once people learn about these and learn how they work, learn how to be safe around them, I think that they're better off. And if they're still uncomfortable with guns and with you carrying, then if they don't want you in their house carrying, just don't go to their house. But it's your choice. If you want to carry a firearm to protect yourself and to protect others, maybe to protect that person if something happened when they're around, that's your choice and your right. Unless you're going to their house and they specifically told you they don't want guns in their house, either don't go or don't carry. But I wouldn't want to leave myself in a vulnerable position just because someone else isn't comfortable with me carrying. Honestly, I wouldn't go to their house. Invite them over your house. But they can't tell you not to carry when you're in your own home or out and about or doing whatever you're doing if you're not in their house. So Ani Bakova, hey Ani, asks, which holster do you recommend when wearing shorts and a tight tank top? Now, I gotta plug my latest video in here real quick because I just did a video on summertime concealed carry. So if you didn't watch it, check it out. I will link it below, and I show you a bunch of different outfits and how I carry in them in the summertime. So let's say it was something like this. I'm wearing jeans, like long jeans right now, but if I was wearing shorts and a tight tank top like this, how would I carry? All right, I've got a few options for you here. One is the fanny pack. It works really well. A fanny pack could be a great option for you because you can put the gun right in here and just throw it on. Don't be embarrassed. They're really stylish. Okay, second option, a flashbang. I show this in my summertime concealed carry video. It attaches to your bra, and depending on how much space you have here, this might be a good way to conceal a gun. Depending on how baggy your tank top is, you could also use something like this, an appendix holster that goes inside the waistband of your pants. This one actually just clips to the fabric. So if you were wearing like a baggier tank top, that might work. My tank top right now is a little tight for this. It would definitely print. But if you had something baggier on, something like that might work. You just have to figure out what works with that outfit. Something like this, where you can just carry it off the body. But definitely check out my summertime concealed carry video because I give you a lot of different options for summertime outfits in that video. All right, next question. Through Pisces Eyes asks, what was your first and second EDC guns? I think it's interesting that you asked first and second, but I did have two. My first EDC gun was a Ruger LC9S. It was a single stack 9mm, and I talk about that in my how to choose a concealed carry gun video because I ended up switching from that to a Smith & Wesson Shield, and I kind of go over why I switched. But basically, the first time I went to buy a concealed carry gun, I compared this with the Ruger LC9S. And because I live in Massachusetts, the triggers that come with the Shield are awful. After you buy the gun, you can get a trigger kit put into it that makes the trigger lighter. But at the time, I didn't know that, so I compared the two guns. The Ruger had a much smoother trigger, and I like that a lot. It did recoil a little more, but because I only shot it a few times while I was testing it out, I didn't really notice it that much. It was only after I shot it in a lot of classes, like 150 rounds each night, where I just did not like it. It was uncomfortable. It did have a nice trigger, but I just did not enjoy shooting it. The Shield is about the same size, and I shoot this so much better. I love this gun so much. So my first one was a Ruger LC9S. My second one is a Smith & Wesson M&P Shield in 9mm. All right, we got another one from Ani Bakova. How do you answer when someone asks, are you carrying? Well, if it's somebody that I know, which has happened to me several times, because like all my friends know that I carry, and some of them will be like, are you carrying right now? I usually answer back like, what do you think? And then I just don't answer. Because usually I can conceal a gun really well and they can't tell. So I like to leave them guessing. And if it's a stranger, that has not happened to me yet. But it is my constitutional right. I have a firearms license, so I don't really have to justify or explain to anybody whether or not I'm carrying and why. It's just my right. If someone were to ask me that out in public, I would probably say carrying what? Or it's none of your business, or just ignore them. Because it's really none of their business. And I don't want to advertise or share the fact that I'm carrying a firearm. In my state, it is legal to open carry, but I don't advise that. I wouldn't do it. So if someone does see my gun, there's no crime committed there. If it shows because I'm not concealing it too great, or I like reach over and someone sees it on my side or something, I'm not committing a crime. But I don't want people to know that I'm carrying a gun, especially strangers. So if they did see it, I would just ignore them or tell them it's none of their business. Tell them you're carrying some sort of medical device. Okay, Everyday Dingle. I don't know why that name makes me laugh. Everyday Dingle asks, thoughts on adding a Streamlight TLR6 to the Shield versus just a bright handheld light. This is my boyfriend's Shield. It's a 4-inch barrel, so it's a little bit longer than mine, but he's got the TLR6 on here. This was mine before. You can see how it fits perfectly to the gun. It doesn't make it any wider. I love this light for the Shield, and I used to have it on mine. However, my number one issue with that is that it makes holsters a problem. He usually carries in like a Kydex holster that holds its shape like this. I carry in like so many different things just because of the way I dress. I wear belly bands and corsets and thigh holsters, and the light just does not fit. So it's not worth it for me to carry that. I just don't like using a laser. It's just an extra button I have to press. I don't like it. If I trained that way, I would get used to it, yes. And if you like lasers on your gun, that's great. I just don't find it really necessary, and it's not worth the hassle of figuring out how to carry the extra bulk on my gun with a light here. I did have a laser. I have the TLR6. It's a great little light and laser combo, but I don't carry it. For home defense, sure. It doesn't matter because I'm not going to conceal it. It's got the light and the lasers on right now as well. I don't think you can probably see that on here, but it's a light laser. Oh, there's a laser. So this does have a flashlight here. I just prefer carrying a handheld light because I could use it for more things than having a light just on my gun. If this was going to be my home defense gun, I would not mind having a light on it at all, but just carrying one around, it's not worth the extra bulk for me because of the holsters that I have to use. But if you want to see what flashlight I carry on a day-to-day basis, it's a Streamlight Micro Stream. It's like this big. I'll link it below if you guys want to see what it is and purchase one. It's a great little light. But I do carry a handheld light and not one on my gun. MM Morgan 193 asks, Black Rifle Coffee? I don't know what that means, but if you're gonna send me some, sure, I'll take it. Alright, ways to carry medical gear on body for women, non-purse. Great question. Here's the trauma kit that I carry around in my purse and have in my car. It's designed to be worn on your ankle, but like, how would I even do that? Unless I just show it. But it's got my favorite tourniquet in here. This is a cat tee. If you were gonna carry just a tourniquet, this is not too difficult to throw in your pocket. But since I carry a purse everywhere, I just throw the stuff in the purse. But you said non-purse, so. They do make smaller tourniquets, like a rat tee that you could just put around your waist. You can take the rat tee and just put it in your belt loops and just carry it around like that. As far as like trauma dressings and quick clot and stuff, that's a lot of gear to carry when you don't have like a bag to put it in and you don't have big pockets because girl pants suck. So you would need something like this, I would think, and just throw it in your purse. But if you're gonna carry just a couple things, you can throw some gauze in your pocket and put a tourniquet around your waist, or if you have big enough pockets, put it in your pocket. It's tough, it's tough. Our pants suck. I'm still waiting to find cute pants with big enough pockets to carry something like this in them. If you know of any, please share them below. J-frame revolvers, opinion. I like them. Let me see, I've got a couple here. Something like this or this. Now if you're asking for concealed carry, I think that they conceal great. They're small, and that's usually why people buy them for concealed carry. And I hear it a lot that like guys will buy their girlfriends or wives, sisters, J-frame revolvers because they're small and easy to conceal. They're also really easy to use. You know, once you load it, all you have to do is just pull the trigger and that's it. It's pretty intuitive. It's tough to mess that up. Things I don't like about them, the main thing is how uncomfortable they are to shoot, at least for me. That's gonna be a personal thing. Maybe you don't mind the recoil, but for me, something that's this small, with such a short barrel and no slide going back and forth to absorb the recoil, is going to recoil more in my hand, and I don't like that. If you are gonna use something like this, I do like these rubber grips more than the wood, even though the wood looks kind of cool. But the rubber grips are going to help mitigate a little bit of that discomfort, but I would not like shooting one of these in a class for hundreds and hundreds of rounds. It gets really uncomfortable and I don't like it. However, I do know people who carry them, women included, who do like them, who do enjoy shooting them and prefer them over a semi-automatic. I am going to do a video on concealing revolvers because I've had people ask that before, so keep an eye out for that. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel if you're not, so you don't miss that. So if you carry one, that's great. They're very reliable guns. They are easy to conceal, even though the cylinder sticks out a little bit in the middle. They're still pretty small and easy to conceal. So if you like them, there are definitely a lot of pros to carrying a J-frame revolver. I just don't like shooting them personally. So that's gonna do it for my Q&A. If you don't follow me on Instagram, make sure you go follow me so that you don't miss the next Q&A. You can ask me all your questions, but also feel free to leave me comments below because I try to respond to all of them, but I definitely read all your comments. I also want to say thank you to all of you who've subscribed to my channel because it's growing pretty quick, which is awesome, and I'm so excited to be able to put more content out for you guys. So let me know if there's anything specific you'd like to see from me. With that, I'm gonna leave you guys. I hope you have a great week. I'm gonna try to get this video uploaded tomorrow, which is Tuesday. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye!